All right. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here. I know we're all across so many different time zones right now, so it means a lot that you're here. I know it does for Dr. Sam, and I know I'm a new face to you, but not for long. So for today, what we're up to, we can advance one slide. We have a few different intentions for today. Biggest is to celebrate, because who does not need celebration vibes in 2020? Hello, like we all do. This is a great way to come together as a community. I know community is more important than ever, and Dr. Sam's just like big heart is infused to every single step of this process. And this is just a really beautiful time to actually just celebrate him, celebrate the incredible work that he does, and also all of your roles in it. Dr. Sam has been so generous with this time today. He very much wanted to share the mic, if you will, with all of his just beloved coaches, mentors, team. So you're going to hear from a couple different people in those celebrations. And there's so many new ways to interact with Dr. Sam in beautiful, streamlined ways. From the website to the back-end systems, we're going to show off, a lot of it today. But a lot of love has gone into all of this, and I'm thrilled to be a part of it. So who am I? I'm Crystal. I am Dr. Sam's new business manager as of April, and I'm here to guide the party along, kind of MC. Dr. Sam will be doing a lot of the talking, just sharing from the heart of what all of you mean to him, but also behind the scenes and in email or interacting with Dr. Sam, you will be interacting with me more as I try to elevate Dr. Sam out of the nitty-gritty weeds of the business side and into the incredible clinician that he is. That is what the goal is. So you'll be hearing from me over the next coming months, along with other team members that we're going to be growing into. But I will be kind of like the guide for tonight, and it is a pleasure to see all of your faces because I've literally heard of so many of you along the way. So this is really fun for me. Comes just bringing it alive. So for today, we're up to a bunch of different things. We're here for a 90-minute time window. Sam is also going to share some intentions for why all of this means so much to him. We've got giveaways. They're pretty cool. Just saying. For us health-minded, entrepreneurial folk, they're great. So I'm excited that you're here live to benefit from those. We're going to be sharing the big vision and Sam's why behind of all of this investment. Time, energy, money into his business. There is a huge why behind it. And I'm so excited to see him step closer towards realizing that, because that's really what he's here on the planet for. And he's going to tell you all about it. Intellectual history. Sam has done so much education and learning over the years. My gosh, like we are so blessed to know him in this kind of like intimate way. But it's really even for me to see like who he's learned from. He's going to showcase some of that tonight. And then we're going to see the website. We're going to do a quick walkthrough, what the new fancy, everything's looking all spiffy. And then he's going to introduce you to the team, myself included, and others. We're going to share some of the shifts that we made towards longer term care. Sam, most of all, is so invested in true wellness through and through. And I know for his gifts, being able to carry someone through like a longer life cycle of health optimization is so key that we built it right into the foundation of the business, this new era of business. So he's going to share some of that. He's got a new ebook, very exciting, some cutting edge genetic goodness. And there's going to be a survey at the end that will kind of walk you through more giveaways. And we'll do some closing thoughts and thank you. Sound good? Awesome. Okay.
What's the etiquette? The sparkle fingers? What was that thing?
Oh, right. Yes. If you have like celebration, I do this in all of my group work. If you have any kind of like celebration or like nonverbal like resonance of some kind of like, oh yeah, definitely. Just give us some spirit fingers. The more obnoxious, the better. Just saying.
Yeah. Just keep it to multiple fingers, not one finger. That's multiple.
All. Keep it rated G.
Yeah, keep it family friendly here.
Family friendly. All right, Sam, over to you.
Okay. So hi everyone. So this has been quite a long trajectory, and just to give some context, like I turned 40 on December 2nd, and I want my 40s to be the best decade so far of my life. And part of that is to just meaningfully launch in all that means. Launch, new business, new website. Thank you, Chassis. New understandings about what is possible, releasing an unresolved stress that's been kind of weighing me down in my life. Eliza, Bronwyn, Nicole have all been absolutely instrumental in all that. Launching a new life. I've moved to Boulder, Colorado. Officially, I've been traveling for basically the past 2.5 years, and so just launching, new decade, new business, new website, new clinical focus, new new everything basically, and I'm aiming for. I had 40 as my deadline to I want all of this in place so that I can launch. And uh, this evening is really kind of like the first real public share about that. Like that this is a real first kind of public outward facing experience that I am declaring, however that this is a new phase of my life. And with that is a new team, a new, yay, spirit fingers. Okay, thank you, Crystal. Yeah, and there's a lot of good things we're going to share, and we're going to start with some giveaways. And so for the people that are here, we've been some wonderful giveaways. One are two products from. There's three things we're giving away in the US. And then there are a gift I'm giving away in New Zealand, which isn't shown. But basically, Crystal is taking a note of who, and if you haven't put your location yet, please put your name and your country into the chat box. And then Crystal will sort who's in what country, and then she'll do a random number generator, and three people in US will get these, and then a person in Australia, New Zealand will get, I'm going to send them a bottle of vitamin D, which we all know is super important. The zinc lozenges, I have one right here that actually tastes great. So I wanted to pick some prizes that were really applicable to everyone. So everyone can use a nice zinc thing. Everyone can use an immune boost support. And then here, this is a kami. This is actually local in Boulder. It is a super natural oral care. And it's something that I recommend people use. And I'm giving away their kind of big $96 kit. It's a really super nice kit of all this super nice oral care. That's only available in the States at the moment. And then for other people, for the Australia, New Zealand, it'll be vitamin D. So that's the first prizes. Yay, go Spirit Finger prizes. Okay. And then we've got the reality of the year that we're in. So we're in 2020, and look carefully. These are bags of toilet paper, given we have had quite an experience with the pandemic. I was in a very unusual place when the pandemic hit. I was in Thailand, and I was in Thailand over Chinese New Year, which is the highest migration of humans in the world at that given time of a year. So over 1 billion people move. Now, the second highest touristed place in the world for Chinese New Year, for Chinese to move, is Thailand, next to mainland China. And I actually believe I got COVID while I was over there, and it was thoroughly unpleasant. I had trouble breathing. I had headaches. I was extremely tired. I had joint aches, and didn't really have anything I could do because officially there were no cases in Thailand. Like, it was all very strange, but I had lots and lots of immune supplements. Basically, I got over it, I think, in about 5 days. And I think I went to a Muay Thai tournament to watch because it's Thailand. Even though it's a Buddhist backdrop country, they're very proud of Muay Thai, which is one of the most deadly hand-to-hand combat sports around. And I still cannot reconcile in my head how a Buddhist country is bonkers over their Muay Thai. I don't understand it. I don't have to understand it. It's just interesting. So, I love Thailand. It was a beautiful country. That's actually where I met Bronwyn, and we met at a health resort over there. And my I got out of Thailand on March 9th, barely. And when I say barely, I mean barely. 75% of South Korean airlines had grounded, and all sorts of weirdness was happening with the flights, and we were getting people getting strange messages of flights being canceled, flights being added, and then more canceled than added, and then things being shifted. And I basically had to get into the cab after getting a very cryptic message that the flight was canceled on my phone, though on the internet it was still on. And I had to make the call. I'm just going to go to the airport and see what happens. And fortunately, the flight wasn't canceled, and we flew into Seoul Airport, and it was one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in my life. And we're landing in, I've never seen all the car lots empty, yet all the plane lots full, with no human activity on the tarmac. None. It was weird. And then I get into Seoul Airport, which is one of the most beautiful airports on the planet. Beautiful high vaulted ceilings, full glass, living forest, utterly empty and vacuous, complete with, and this is true, dystopian robot rolling around warning people about COVID. So this is like full dystopia, empty airport with the dystopian robot with the little anime eyes rolling around. Okay. So I made it into the States March 9th, 3 days before the States basically went into panic, and about 3 weeks before Thailand shut down. So I was in voluntary lockdown before it was fashionable. So there. So that was my story. I was supposed to stay in Massachusetts for a month. It ended up being 4 months because both my parents are in their late 70s. Both have heart conditions, cardiovascular conditions, and Boston was the second highest hotspot in the nation. So I wanted to be nearby to be on hand. And in that time, where I was basically, my mother went out to go stay with my father and stepmother's more safely out in Western Mass. I stayed in her apartment near Boston, taking care of her plants and keeping an eye on the apartment. And I used those 4 months to study for my Institute for Functional Medicine exam, as well as continue to run my online practice. So quarantine was very strange. I was going to Boston to visit family. I didn't see any family member for 3 months. It was all of us have like books of books will be written about this year, and we all have our journeys, and that was the synopsis of mine. Now, prior to that, how did I get into natural medicine? Basically, 6 years old, my parents, who I've now fully reconciled, and they're really close, they're friends. My stepmother has a great sense of humor, but my mother has a wicked sense of humor. And when my father laughs with my stepmother, but when my mother makes my father laugh, he turns beet red and has trouble breathing. He is laughing so hard. And meanwhile, us kids, me and my 3 sisters, we watch the 2 of them laugh. All of us are trying to hold back tears because it's so healing to see my parents laugh together. I mean, truly, it's one of the most beautiful experiences I've ever experienced. I've had, like, oh my God, they're laughing together, and the reason why all of us kids are in tears is because the divorce they had when I was 6 was nuclear divorce, and all me and my three sisters were in the blast radius. And it was a really difficult time for me. I developed insomnia, severe gut issues, had a terrible diet, two addictions, one to video games, one to sugar. I had chronic joint pain from the violence I experienced in school, from the injuries in my back I got, and also from sitting all day, anxiety, depression. It was not a good scene. And through a very long journey, of which I will share with you the wonderful people who've been a part of that journey, I've come to a place of coming out of a very, very dark place, extremely dark place, into one where I've created this new vision using functional testing, functional medicine, uh, all the way up to creating, basically working on education, writing ebooks. I'm going to be transitioning to writing Kindle books next year, and then ultimately leading to an online addiction institute, which I'll touch more upon a little bit. Oh, there it is. Yeah. So I wanted to just everyone to just take a moment right now to, even though this year has been rough for whether it's for yourself or for people you know, uh, I have learned so much about myself in this year. And if that is, I think every single person on this call can at least take that to heart, even though when circumstances may not be great. I had a friend of mine whose father's house burned down this week because of the Colorado fires. Like, there's bad, there's bad things that are happening all over the place. And there's also a lot of self-reflection and a lot of personal growth. And I just invite everyone just to take a moment to reflect on what, of all the things that have happened, finding one spot of appreciation despite all of this. And I'll share with you something else. This is one of the only period, like, I came to this realization not too long ago. This period of time right now is the highest potential for personal change probably in human history. And when I say personal change, I mean logistics, friendships, relationships, business trajectories, and most importantly, one's internal consciousness. And here's why. The entire world is cast into uncertainty with the pandemic. On top of that, there's also the election, and we're definitely not going to talk about politics tonight. Absolutely not. But there is a reality, though, that the uncertainty is, it's going to be felt until at least the results have been, shall we say, formalized, whatever that looks like. So with the entire world now in uncertainty, not just because of an election, but with the pandemic, the other side of uncertainty is potential. That with uncertainty is potential to change, to redirect, recalibrate. And I have never in my life seen so many people shift their job, their location, who their friends are, relationships with family members, reconciliation, separation. Many relationships have been consummated. Many have been separated. There'll be a whole wave of, we'll call them coronials in 9 months, of new babies. Those will be the coronial generation. There's never been a more strong time for change. And it's kind of the hidden side of all of this uncertainty. So I'm embracing this with two hands, and saw that, and just launching ahead. So the vision is ultimately, functional medicine and functional genetics is a piece of the bigger picture, which is to change the way the world views and treats addiction. And that's, and I don't talk about addiction that much. I had talked about it a lot on podcasts, and partly because the infrastructure that I need in order to make that shift in conversation and awareness, that's what we're working on right now. Crystal and I are working on the foundations of that, to build an online institute that's scalable, to be able to teach this new meta model of addiction that literally explains all other forms of addiction out there, and explains how they all can collaborate with each other instead of compete, and is a practical model that everyone who's ever gone through this model is like, wow, that's so accurate and dead on. And it doesn't, it takes into account all the different pieces, but it's not ready to fully launch into the world yet, but it will be in a couple years. So in the meantime, what I'm doing is building the foundation of this online practice, and then in the background, writing books, one Kindle book a quarter starting next year. Now, some of you think, how are you supposed to write a 300-page book every quarter? I'm not. You only need 50 pages minimum to qualify for the bestseller status on Amazon at this point. So if you have any ambitions of writing things, that's something you may want to know. And obviously, I'm not going to stop at 50 pages. I'll write as long as the thing needs to be. But basically, I have 10 pillars of health. That's 10 books right there. And then there's the addiction model, and there's for sugar, and then there's one for video screens, and then there's however many more I want to do after that. So with that, all the books, and with each book will be a 1 to 2 week course where it's like a half-hour training each day and then 2 live calls or something. I'm still working on the structure. But like the sleep book, which is going to be the first one for first quarter next year, it's going to be a Kindle book with all the things I've ever learned on coming out of 12 years of severe insomnia, and then an implementation course specific to sleep. And then that will be and then what that will do is that will then create more of the in-depth. It's like book, course, etc. So there'll be an opportunity for people to really dive deep into whatever topics that they're interested in, which will then also provide all the foundational content for the online institute. So I'm building this thing up, one book, one course at a time. And I'm also focusing on longer term care packages. I'm reworking with fewer people personally in order to free up my time to write. Because I feel, even though I'm a clinician by training, I'm actually a writer at heart. And I'm like a teacher by heart. And writing is, I think, the real medium of me. Like that's the thing I feel drawn to and pulled to. So as a community request, I'm going to be looking for specific clientele and specific connections. If you know of any online entrepreneurs, mompreneurs, mid-upper management, and podcasts to be connected to, you can direct message Crystal on Zoom, or you can email her at concierge@drsamshay.com. And I'm asking this because I am looking to work with, again, some very kind of specific people that I can uniquely help, which will then free up my time to write, to then scale to the world. Yeah, that's the big vision. So then to help with that vision is comedy. Now, I do stand-up comedy as a hobby. I've been studying and doing stand-up comedy for years, but formally doing it over the past couple. And levity is medicine. Laughter is absolutely one of the most important things to do. I also want to use my comedy to destigmatize addiction and destigmatize chronic health issues. So I will be using comedy to talk about very harrowing subjects like addictions. And eventually I'm wanting to create a full hour special, with like with a full arc, all stories are connected together in a meaningful way, as a way to just get the content out there about addiction using comedy. So and if you want to see some of my stuff, you can go to my YouTube channel. It's under the comedy thing. And this picture is taken from my graduation last year from the comedy class, where I'm pretending to be David Attenborough narrating a National Geographic special from inside a coffee shop in Boulder. So you can, yeah, you can just use your imagination if David Attenborough's narrating, if all the people in there were animals. So with this refocus, I'm going to talk about who I help and why. So I help mompreneurs who want more energy and time for their business and family, because I was raised by a burned out mompreneur. And if you help mom, you help the whole family. I help busy, health conscious entrepreneurs because they drive the innovation to improve the world. And if you help entrepreneurs, then you can help the whole world because they're driving all the innovation. I help burned out professionals, executives, and managers. And I my mindset gets along. I get along really great with professionals, executives, and managers because I have a similar thinking style. I also help quote unquote biohackers and high performance entrepreneurs. They want to be optimal, and functional testing is where you want to go for that. I also get along really well with ex-military and frontline public service professionals and ex-athletes. Uh, ex, and the reason why I think is that I I say things how it is, and like here are the next steps people do. It's like here's the marching orders, and if you want clarity, happy to give it to you. But here's very clear, specific marching orders. And the engineers and computer programmers and lawyers, I get along. I mean, a lot of my colleagues in functional medicine, they're leery of working with lawyers because we are in a litigious society. I love working with lawyers. I love working with lawyers because they ask, they're like, they ask the most picayune questions ever. Oh my God. But because I have a I have a mind like that, I have a mind like them, I can answer their picayune questions, and then they're like, oh, okay, you're legit. Because they just grill, and I'm like, okay, grill away, whatever, man. We can play this game all day. So it's fun. Like so I get along great with lawyers and other skeptical types, or analytics, computer programmers, engineers, and then emotional eaters and sugar addicts, because that was my MO for a long time. So 15 years with sugar addiction, 25 years with video game addiction. So I'm there with them. So those are who I help and why. And then with the intellectual journey, it really started with Dr. Jensen's guide to better bowel care. And got this book when I was 16 years old. And I had terrible digestive issues, terrible. And I read this book and it opened my eyes to natural medicine. And this is I still have the original copy. I still have it. I still carry it with me. It's still dog-eared and sticky noted and all the rest of it. And I mean, this is one reason why I'm not afraid to talk about poop and pooping and helping people poop better. And poop. In fact, one of my write-ups is titled "Pooping More Better," as as the title to it. Then the next major influence is actually Eliza. Now, Eliza, forgot to put your, hold on. Sorry, Eliza. So this is Eliza. We're gonna have a segment just a little bit later on where Eliza, Nicole, and Chassie will talk. But I'm just going to briefly go through my entire intellectual history. And in fact, this entire website launch was inspired by Eliza launching her website. And she invited me to come watch it. And I was so inspired. I was like, you know what? I want to do that. And I want to share my intellectual history too, because it was so interesting to hear Eliza's journey, because she helped my life in so many ways to see what her background was. Now, then, like, this is all my formal education, and I'm not going to walk you through all my formal education because my intellectual history is this, but I want to highlight the people that have really influenced me, not the institutions I've graduated from, not the degrees, not the accolades, not the honors, not whatever. It's like, sure, like 3 bachelor's degrees, a doctorate in chiropractic with summa cum laude, a diplomate and fellowship in neurology, and a diploma in acupuncture. It's been a lot of study, and I've continued my studies on with functional medicine, but this is not the intention of tonight. It's really to highlight the people that have meaningfully changed my life. Now, this is Mrs. Richardson, and this is a photo I took of her senior year with her permission, and this is the woman who helped me fall in love with writing. Okay, she was my freshman English teacher, and she taught just ground level English. I had the option in sophomore year to go to the quote unquote advanced writing, or to continue with her in sophomore at the normal. And I chose to stay with her because she was so awesome. Okay. And as you can see, she's a total nerd. She would literally walk around school with her Trekkie. She had like a Trekkie jersey, a Trekkie thing. Like she was, and I grew up on Star Trek. And I love this woman. She really helped me fall in love with writing. Next was Mr. McDougall. Mr. McDougall was a legend at our high school. He taught there for over 40 years or something. He graduate. He's like a combination of Santa Claus and Jerry Garcia. He taught popular culture and U.S. history. He's been to every major riot. He's lived the 70s. Like this man has done everything, and he taught an entire class on pop culture. And he, just to give you a sense of how forward thinking he was, when he graduated from Harvard, he went to the Harvard board and said, I want to create a new subject called popular culture. This is like in the 60s. They laughed at him, and he left and started teaching popular culture in our high school. And at the time he was teaching, there were count them, three pop culture professors at Harvard when he was, years later. So he was a vanguard of popular culture and of the whole subject. Yeah, what he taught me was really looking at the culture, looking at the trends and what the foundations were. And strangely enough, if you want to boil down American culture into one major figurehead, it'd be P.T. Barnum. He had 8 classes just on P.T. Barnum. And like, the more you dig into P.T. Barnum's past and history, the more you're like, wow, that's really him. Okay. He's like explaining 50% of all US culture today. And by the way, P.T. Barnum of Barnum and Bailey Circus, he didn't get into the circus until his 60s. Fun fact, like, so he had a way huge, oh my God. Yeah. Anyway, something to look up later. So the next major mentor I had was Dr. Frank Andrews. Now, Frank Andrews was a theoretical chemist who then got his master's in clinical psychology. And he is one of the kindest, most like grandfatherly people I've met. He taught a class called Science and Human Values and personal empowerment. And he had what was called Group, which was something he's still running to this day. It's been running for over 30 years. Every Wednesday for 3 hours, it'd be his family, members of the community, and handpicked students would join him at his house. And we would just have these really deep, meaningful discussions about literally every aspect of life. And he wrote The Art and Practice of Loving, Living a Heartfelt Yes. And you can look him up. His book is wonderful. And he was my second main mentor when I was in college. And then when I went to chiropractic school, I met Uncle John. He passed 3 years ago, as of a couple weeks ago, and he was the first kind of real man I ever met. Heart, a spine, a mind. Just he was just such an amazing individual. He called me nephew. I called him uncle. We were very, very, very close. And his death was just devastating. And I feel like he was a father figure to me. And if you go onto my YouTube channel, it should be here. I made a eulogy video when he passed. It was set to his 3 favorite Grateful Dead songs. He was a Deadhead, and he was a genius clinician, a master teacher, and just he turned degrees into doctors. He turned students into clinicians, and he gave the best hugs in the world. And if you're wanting to honor someone who's passed, consider making a eulogy video. It was one of the most cathartic things I've ever done. Weaving in pictures, quotes from his students, sets his music, and just, it was an amazing process for me to grieve. And then I brought the DVD to the viewing, and it just is a 4-hour viewing, and you walk in, it was just such a morose experience. And then, you know, it's a modern funeral home and there's like TV sets and sound system. I put in the eulogy sets of the Grateful Dead, pictures of him smiling, that's his wife, Dr. Yvonne, pictures of him traveling. It lifted the entire, we just played the 13-minute video on repeat for 4 hours, and it just changed the whole vibe. It became a celebration as opposed to just this utter grieving defeat, you know, of losing this man. So yeah, I encourage people to watch the video. So why I'm sharing this with you, I think Crystal, you suggested we do another giveaway right now before we get into the shares. Okay.
Sure, let's do it. We've
Okay,
got some,
so what I go ahead.
real quick, if everybody just checks their chat, some of you I sent some private messages to just to try to find out where you're calling in from. So if you see that, if you could send me back the country that you're calling from, that would be amazing. So let's do a giveaway of some dental hygienic products. How about that?
Okay. Sure.
Listen, I
That's
saw
great.
that. I'm like, that looks good. Like I would
Okay.
like that.
Right. Okay. So that would be okay. So
US folks.
that'll be the US, and then I think in New Zealand they do have the periodont. New Zealand, Australia, for the people that are there, there is I think there is. I hope there is. Please hope there is. Anyway, there'll be some other giveaways very shortly when we go through the website. There'll be some digital giveaways, and so I'm sharing. It takes a village, and there's a whole lot that goes into digital infrastructure, and the person who helped me with this was Chassis. So Chassis, would we unmute?
Hi.
Hey. So Chassis, could you tell us about yourself and what you do? And then I'll pull up also the website, and you can kind of walk us through some of the snazzy things that you did for the website.
Ooh. Yeah, happily. So my name's Chassis. I do branding and web design. I primarily work with people who are doing socially conscious, holistic nutrition, doing great work in the world, moving us forward in a really conscious way. And so I was really grateful to be able to work with Dr. Sam on his new project. And yeah, that's what I do.
Awesome.
Gorgeous stuff.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the website, and then we're just going to quickly kind of go through it, and Chassis can give the running commentary on all the fun like widgets and like the things and all of the things. Give it a moment to load, and then I'll switch, and then I will. I have to. I gotta log out of the thing. Hold on.
I'm going to go ahead and announce our first winner for the giveaway.
Oh, great. Thank you. Yes, please do that. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, can we get a virtual drum? Let's do spirit fingers instead of drum roll. Can we just get a virtual? Can we get
I don't have my iTunes in it. No,
okay,
sounds good.
Great. Our first winner is, I don't know, I just know your handle here, Dow Lady of our dental hygiene. Amazing. Are you here?
That's Serena.
Serena. Okay, great.
I'm here.
Congrats.
Hi. Thank you.
Amazing. We'll get that to you. All right.
Congratulations.
There we go.
Wow.
That's nice. All right.
I don't have my makeup on, so I didn't open my camera.
Okay.
Don't you worry about it.
It's close to Serena. It's close to Halloween, so it's not. You're actually pre-celebrating.
Okay,
Right?
got it. Thank you, Dr.
Right?
Sam.
Okay. Good save. Good save. All right.
By the way, I'm going to mute this in a second, but I am one of Dr. Sam's biggest fans. He has changed the life of me and my partner.
Aw.
Thank you.
I mean, yeah, well, I don't want to take up everybody's time, but completely life-changing, and I recommend him to everybody, my clients, everybody.
Thank you, Serena.
Thank you, Serena.
So, Crystal, do you want to announce anyone else, or do we want to just
Go
go
ahead.
straight to the
Let's
website?
look at the website.
Okay, so Chassis, take it away.
All right. So one of the things that I really appreciated about working with you is that you had a very clear vision for what you wanted, where you wanted your business to go, and how you wanted it to visually be portrayed. And so it allowed me to be able to come in and really co-create a website that feels like you, that helps really guide people through a journey on, you know, what you do, how you work with people, and really funnel them into working with you in your online business. And then secondarily, being able to really clearly show your programs, your books, and get people to buy them and sign up, and lots of opt-ins, and really just have an engaging site throughout. So we wanted really clean, bright pops of color here and there, and just easy to read, easy
I
to
love that
navigate.
how the pictures just kind of float in as you scroll down.
Little bit of animation just to bring some attention to certain areas, and yeah, that was the goal.
And I love these. I love how you made segments, like just the slight shades of gray here really made it easy for the eye to just know a transition point without it being too overt and sudden or whatever. And it helped me as you know, as for my website, be able to like, okay, compartmentalize. Here things that I want to talk about that are related on the page, but are clearly delineated from other parts of the page.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and the site you had before this was really driven by content, really featured, you know, so it focused primarily on your blogs, which, you know, can serve a purpose at, you know, for a certain period of time, but you were really evolving and growing into something new and different, and wanted to really be able to separate the different pillars of your business.
Yeah. And what I also liked was like how flexible the design was. Like the theme you chose made it that we can put things in, like, and I can put in like it's just very easy to pop in and change things and structure things very easily. So this is
Yeah.
the about page. Again, the pop-up, the different types of packages. We're doing like focusing on genetics and then functional testing. And this is Serena, the old lady. This is from Serena, and we'll just highlight, I guess, the last sentence there. Partner and I are serious Sam, Dr. Sam fans. All right, so this is Serena's website. She was instrumental in helping me get to Thailand, and yeah, I have nothing else to say to that, except I really love working with the people that I work with. And Serena's not only a client, but also a close friend. And here underneath, I'm sharing some media under the about page. It's like author of these books, and we're going to add the genetics one probably this weekend. All of you have first access to the genetics book. You're the very first people to get access to it. It was released this week. Spirit Genetics Spiral Fingers. Okay. And there's also like the 3 online courses, the lots of videos on YouTube, and some podcasts I've been on different topics: genetics, functional testing, biohacking, emotional eating. By the way, just in terms of emotional history, my father is named Dr. Jonathan Shea. He's an MD and a PhD, and he wrote 2 books focused on PTSD and moral injury. And he's famous in his own circles. And part of what I do in the addiction space is I've incorporated my father's work, parts of it, into the addiction model, because understanding moral injury, despite the deep irony of me growing up and what I went through in terms of moral injury, his work is incredibly valuable. And so this podcast from Betrayal to Breakthrough, on the Betrayal to Breakthrough podcast with Dr. Silber, I actually explain my father's work and how it relates specifically to addiction. And, for all the complicated relationship dynamics I have with him, I absolutely am very, very, very proud of my father's work. He's done very meaningful things to help define the term moral injury, help understand and delineate between that and PTSD. There's actually one of his, I don't know, students, admirers, protege, I don't know what you call it. They opened the Shea Center for Moral Injury in Scottsdale last year, and you now see the term moral injury on mentioned in certain TV shows and things like that. So it's become a thing. And so if you're interested in that, particularly if you had any trauma in your life, or someone who's had deep trauma in their life, please listen to this. Oh, this is a quote from Debbie. Okay. And then 10 facts about me, stand-up comic, back in the US, 3 ebooks, I have to update that. What I've overcame, what I like to do, and what's coming soon, including getting a puppy. I am inching towards that more and more closely by watching puppy training YouTube videos. So you want to talk about exposure therapy of getting someone to get a dog, start sending them puppy training videos to loosen the anxiety around it. And I'm also looking at the carpet in my apartment with great anxiety also. So next step is to stock up on pee cleaning kits or whatever accidents may happen. So then on this page, the programs page, we have one of the things that I love, the real kind of one of the great artistic flares that Chassie did was, I love how it started on just a couple pages with this kind of like bar, and then we loved it so much that Crystal and I just put it on every page, these kind of like forest things. It just sets the whole tone for the rest of the page. It's I don't know if you'd ever call a website nourishing, but this is about as close as I can come to it,
Yeah, with a lot of the nature inspired images was to bring, some grounding to the site, and and really, the grounding, and to feel kind of taken care of and nurtured in a way that nature really does for us. I also, you mentioned earlier that, you loved that you've been able to, pop in and add things and change things as needed. And, that is such an important part to me and how I design websites. And then when I hand them over to my clients, is to have them set up in a way so that you can easily make changes and add stuff and take stuff away, so that you feel really empowered to do that on your own. Because as an entrepreneur, sometimes you just need to get in and get something done, and having to wait on your web designer isn't always the most desirable thing. So I love that you've really taken that and run with it with your site.
Yeah, I feel it's very liberating. I mean, of course, there's going to be some super esoteric thing occasionally here and there, very rarely, but literally, the reins are basically completely in my hands at this point to run my own website. And your responsiveness to answering questions has been outstanding, and helping me be able to feel okay, this can work. You shoot the little Loom video to show how the thing, click the thing over there to make this whatever. Your responses have been fantastic, and I really, really appreciate that, because I have had the experience of slower than ideal responsiveness. So in the programs, we're looking at genetics testing. You can read all about the genetic stuff in the new genetics book. Crystal has done a phenomenal job, with branding and all these wonderful pictures, with all these wonderful branded pictures, and creating consistency and design across the whole space. This is from Eileen, and this is from Nicole, who you'll hear about later. Nicole's been working with me I've been working with Nicole rather, since 2013, I think 13, 12, something like that. And more stuff on functional testing, the different types of tests that we're doing, all again beautifully branded by Crystal. and what you can expect, what you can experience, all it's the website really created a place to make things feel really easeful and welcoming. And we've already seen the who I help, why I help. This is from my favorite lawyer patient. Did I skip? Okay. Then here on the shop, now this is another giveaway. Here's in the resources and tools. These are all my ebooks, Sans the Genetics, I'll put up. So these two are all free. This one is not, but for people who have like the first, if you private message Crystal, if you have someone in your life that is struggling with screen addiction or video game addiction, social media or whatever, text her and I'll just send this to you. And I came out of 25 years of video game addiction, and I'm not asking people to like raise their hand or whatever, because if addiction is sometimes a bit more private, so just privately message Crystal and we'll just send it to you. I like it's a bit harrowing, particularly screen addiction, because it's so culturally sanctioned. And there's also an audio and video version of this. I shot a video going through the book and then ripped the audio off so you can listen to it as well. And so that's just text Crystal. And then for everyone, as a gift to everyone who shows up, and I'm so happy you all did, everyone will get my Transform Stress into Freedom course. This is this is using the work of Byron Katie to identify and question stressful thoughts. If you already have this, text message Crystal and we can get you either the addiction course or the Reclaim Your Energy course. And for those of you that may have all three, let Crystal know and we'll gift someone of your choosing the Transform Stress into Freedom course, and they can just have it. And these are normally $300 each. And I just want to say thank you for everyone who showed up. Everyone's going to get this course. And if you already have it, let Crystal know and we'll send you one of the others. And if you have all three, then we'll gift one of these to you, well, to someone you know. So again, thank you all for showing up. And just wanted to, say thank you. And this is products that I personally endorse. This is an air purification system that I used because we've got, viruses in the air as well as smoke. I'm in Colorado. And the air in my place smells way fresher than whatever's smoky outside. The $200 coupon on if you use this link here. This is the Natural Oral Care. If you want to get the full kit, I was given a 20% off promo code. Thrive Market is a place in the States. I think all of these are in the States only. Thrive Market is a place where you can get basically a Whole Foods for cheaper and delivered directly to your door. And they have a discount. It's like wholesale pricing almost. If you want really good seafood in the US, caught in clean waters at low weights so they don't bioaccumulate, get it from here. This is where I get all my seafood. And if you are into MCT oil, there's also SCT oil, which is finer than MCT. So SCT oil was developed by a man who was dealing with a really, really, really bad chronic disease, and he was told he was going to die. And what he did is he jumpstarted his mitochondria by feeding his body concentrated. There's MCT oil, then you fractionate that out. Then you get the really, really small short chain triglycerides that go straight into the mitochondria, straight into the cells to be processed for energy and jumpstart the mitochondria and generate all the electricity to heal the body. So it does taste like, I think I clicked on that. So it does taste like ghee, but it's people who are allergic to milk can take this because there's no dairy proteins or sugars whatsoever in it at all. It's completely purified. Exercise things, shoes. This is the best exercise equipment I've ever gotten. And then the blood flow restriction technology to rapidly increase muscle mass, improve cardiovascular benefit. Read all about it there. If you're concerned about electromagnetic fields like I am, this is a great place to get stuff. And then if you want to create better quality sound, on your interactions through phone, computer, laptop, etc. This is a wonderful program called Chris to mute background noise event, and it filters it out. It's just been incredible. And then lastly, we've got the blog, which, there's all sorts of stuff here, videos, articles, and so on. And then the contact page, if people are wanting to reach out to me, if you want to talk about genetics, there's one button. If you want to talk functional testing, there's another. And if you have media contacts, they can contact me here. And then there's a frequently asked questions page it puts together that has all sorts of stuff on it. So that is the website. And again, thank you. Chastity, anything you wanted to add to that before, anything about the website before?
I think there was one thing that, it was one of the big goals of your site was how do we organize all of the amazing things that you do, how you work with people, your programs, your ebooks, the products you recommend, all of these different things. And that was, and as you went through those pages, it really kind of showed how we did that, which I think is, I'm just really happy you got to do that because you offer so many wonderful things. And so how do we organize this in a way that makes sense, for people who might just be landing on the site? So
Right.
Yeah, it's a great job. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Chastity. Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much. Really, I'm super happy and proud of the site. Yeah.
It was wonderful to work with you.
Thank you. So we're going to go back to the presentation, and then we're going to open up to the other people in my life who's made such huge differences for me. And so we've got Crystal. She's the best. So take it away, Crystal.
You're a Northeast high school girl almost
Right.
came out.
As if, yeah.
We joke about that all the time.
Uh.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Crystal Brandt. I am an ease mentor and business strategist for creative entrepreneurs. I believe that ease is actually our nature, but given the world that we grow up in, we forget that. So my main mission in this life is to make sure that our leaders, whether they're creative entrepreneurs or business leaders in corporate, are questing for ease in a world built for the opposite. And I help them figure out how to do that. That's exactly how I'm helping Sam in the business manager role. This is kind of a unique setup as far as being dedicated to his business as well, but it has also been incredible. And we have great synergy together. If we go from April to now of how much ground we've covered and how many systems upgrades we've done, we even look at each other like, wow, we've been busy. So this is just very gratifying for everything to look so cohesive because that's what we've been hustling to do. And like I said earlier, our main drive is to make sure that Sam is shining in his brightest light as both a clinician and a
Bald helps.
writer.
The aura reflects better on the bald head, so we're doing
Halo,
great.
right? Yeah.
Halo.
Yeah, so that's what
Crystal's been amazing. Crystal's been so amazing. Crystal has been when you say ease mentor, that's true. She says the word ease probably once. We talk in 4 mornings. We co-work 4 mornings a week, and she's trying to help me. Okay, Sam, let go of, take 2 hands off the project. Just let it go. Okay, and
how can I help?
Exactly. And she's been great, and we laugh a lot, and we can go from laughing to being very serious and on task, and it's very natural, and it's wonderful to work with Crystal. And it was Nicole that actually introduced us, and we'll talk to Nicole. We'll hear from Nicole in a minute. Thank you, Crystal. You're the best. And so there's 3 people that aren't on the call tonight, but I just want to acknowledge. One is Jen. She's someone that's created a practice better business management, and she's helping Crystal and I really get all the formal systems in place. And so she works with functional medicine practitioners, and she's really, really helpful to us. I forgot to mention earlier, Dr. Beaver has been instrumental in my journey with genetics. Dr. Kale, and I have interviews of him on my YouTube channel. Dr. Kalish I've been in his clinical mentorship since 2017, and I'm going into my 4th year. He's been unbelievable in helping me develop clinical expertise. There's actually a video of him interviewing me on how to interpret fatty acids from what I learned from him. So I took his information, reorganized it, and it was such this touching kind of like karmic loop thing of presenting back to him what I learned from him. It's really sweet, actually. And then lastly, this is the Institute for Functional Medicine. I graduated mid 2020. Again, part of what I did when I was in quarantine, staring at the walls, was studying for my exam. And that was a really hard exam. I'm good at exams. I taught test taking for 3 years in chiropractic school. That was a hard exam, and I do not say that lightly. So they have my absolute respect for what they put us through. Another person that's not on is Dr. Isaac Jones. He's a fellow chiropractor. He also knew Uncle John. He is he's founded the Health Experts Alliance, and he helps other clinicians scale. And he's probably one of the best stage presenters I've seen. As you can see, like that's him. Like him, he's super enthusiastic, dialed to 11. Like, yeah, his spirit. He let me do stand-up comedy at his event here in Denver, and I found his spirit animal. I took his official photo and put it next to a really big-eyed husky, and it was just so on the nose, just how enthusiastic and just full of energy he is. And then lastly is the Mindshare Collaborative. These are people that are supportive community of internet health entrepreneurs that help everyone scale life-changing information. I've been a part of them since 2014. So now I would like you to meet Eliza. And Eliza has been my first mentor, and she's truly changed my life around. And I don't know what else to say. She taught me that my thoughts aren't my thoughts. I can actually have a say over how my mind works, as opposed to being lost in anxiety and depression and coming out of over 12 years of emotional and physical abuse at school. And Eliza really turned my life around. So I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Eliza, straight up. So thank you so much, Eliza. And Eliza, if you can share just a minute about what you do and what you offer to people.
Okay, I will. You can flash your fingers when you come to a 30-second mark or something like that. I met Sam. Actually, I didn't really meet him. I met his red high tops 32 years ago. The other end of him was doing a video game. So I never caught his attention. But I had the great pleasure of working with him. And over the years, my great pleasure is helping creative people, creatives of all sorts, get their brilliance out into the world. And therefore my business is called Brilliance Unlimited. And I really believe that about everybody I meet. It's one of the most exciting things is to see people like Sam just go whoosh out into the world doing what they're meant to be doing. We need Sams, we need Crystals, we need all of you. And so just, it's a great pleasure for me. So I'm an energy kinesiologist and a coach, and I've been doing this for, over 30 years. And before that, I was a theater director. So that's 30 seconds. Okay. So right now I'm focusing on two things. I have this book here. It's called The Yes in Success, and it's full of my techniques to get people to find well-being in their lives, and energy-wise, in their thoughts and in their movement through their life. And I also have a business course called Microbiz Mastery. And so I've had a lot of fun putting my website together, and Sam came to that launch. And so it's going around in loops. And so I hope we get to see all of your websites as we move forward.
Thank you, Eliza.
Yeah.
Thank you. Like I said, Eliza was my first mentor, and she's the one who like truly changed my life. And I do, I've done sessions with her through Zoom as well, so it doesn't have to be necessarily in person. And yeah, that's elizabergeson.com is her website. And then next person is Nicole. So I met Nicole, I believe it was 2013 to 12, maybe, I don't know. And in New Zealand, of all places. And she has been my business coach and has just helped me. Like, I wouldn't have a website, period, if it wasn't for Nicole. And she's just been kind of holding my hand the whole way, seeing the big picture. She's seen all the trends and all of the things. And so, Nicole, I would love for you to share for a minute what it is that you do, and to, yeah, you've just been so helpful to me.
Yeah, thanks, Sam. We actually met in San Jose, Northern California.
Oh, that's right. But I didn't talk to you. We kind of saw each other, but we didn't actually talk. Okay, that's right.
Yeah, you ran up next to the person next to me, spoke with them, and then she introduced us later on. And we happened to both be living in New Zealand at the time. So yeah,
right.
It's been a journey. It's been a long journey, and it's been a wonderful journey. And I'm so proud of everything that you've accomplished. And this is, I think, the second website that we've gone through, and it's looking amazing. At this point, we started together. Originally, I was a business coach back then, and we have worked through so many aspects of your business. And now I have shifted in the last couple of years into money mindset and financial coaching. And so now we get to shift into those things. And so it's been fun. So I'm kind of on that line of business coach, but also money mentor.
Yeah. And I can say that Nicole has absolutely helped me organize my finances, everything from loading everything into QuickBooks and organizing it and tagging it like a year, like coming up 2 years worth of data, helping me find and, think about finances, in a much more clear way. She's helped me save a huge amount of money by helping me have the conversations with accountants. And it's been, it's like understanding money is a discipline, just like studying functional medicine. And that's not something I was ever taught. And it's a field of study, just like anything else. And Nicole has a curriculum laid out. And fortunately, it's one of those few curriculums where you can see progress in real time in terms of numbers. And yeah, Nicole, I'd be floundering if it wasn't for Nicole's guidance over the years. It's one thing to graduate from school and be me smart about me no science stuff, and it's a completely other thing to actually understand marketing and business management and all of the things that have nothing to do with necessarily helping someone clinically, but all of the surrounding things to be able to provide the space to attract and then work with people. So yeah, Nicole has been absolutely instrumental. And that's pop up the slide again. So it's nicole-lombardo.com. And then the next person is Bronwyn. And Bronwyn is someone I met in Thailand, and we what I really was so impressed by Bronwyn is that she's one of the most observant people I have ever met. Like she when she like read me and was able to tell things about me that I haven't told anyone, except maybe Eliza and Nicole. And she's able to read me so well, but she was so kind and respectful. And like, it was so like, and I really felt instinctively like I can really trust this woman. I can really trust her to tell me the truth. And she's had such a unique life that her perspective is something I found so invaluable. And so she's a life coach, and a creative mentor. And yeah, Bronwyn. You're not muted. You're still muted, Bronwyn. Hold on.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm Bronwyn. I come out of a background of performance. I'm a violinist and singer. I've worked in those fields internationally, professionally for over 3 decades. I've been in a passionate, intimate relationship for 40 years. And I love human beings in all their magnificence and frailty and vulnerability. And I would say my life trajectory has been very, very unusual. And I bring a type of coaching that's kind of a little bit out of the box and a little bit outside the matrix. And I only work with a small client base with whom I have excellent chemistry because I work very closely with people. I do daily check-ins if they want that. I'm very available to my clients. And I love working with Sam because of his acute intellect, his love of learning, his responsiveness, his desire to get fully well, the fact that he's so honest and willing to look at himself and willing to allow kindness into his life. And I would say I bring a strong, loving, feminine energy that's not suffocating, that's liberating. I do work in energy, but and embodiment, but I also do work with the faculty of the intellect and taking an analytical approach, I would say. I use many, many modalities and my life experience and also the magic of art, I would say. And I'm a very safe place.
Yeah, Bronwyn's been Bronwyn, her life, I mean, her life story is about 5 books deep. And so what that means is that or is it 6 or 7, maybe 8? Because of her perspectives on things are so well-rounded, and because she's lived all of the lives, it's a real honor to work with her because she's so authentic, and yeah. So and when she says she's available daily check-ins, that means that like I wake up, she's in Australia, I wake up to like thoughts to ponder, for the day that are very meaningful and very pointed in a kind but direct way. So thank you all, Chassie, Crystal, Eliza, Nicole, Bronwyn. You've all really meaningfully helped me get here and continue to help me move into the future. And where the future is going with my clinical practice is long-term care with deeper and more sustainable results, doing bigger care packages, doing 5 genetics tests at once as opposed to just like piecemealing it, because I found that really all of the tests talk to and synergize with each other as opposed to one after the other. The same thing is true for functional testing, not just checking here's adrenals over here and there's gut over there, there's mitochondria over there, but actually synergizing the packages together and then customizing also. Because like you can have like the 3 core foundational things and then layer as needed. If someone needs a thyroid, we chuck a thyroid in. If they need some sex hormones, we put it on top of the adrenal. If they need the advanced mitochondria, we can layer it on top of that. But it's a foundation, and it's really formalizing that and making it much more streamlined for everybody has just been a win for all. And part of my education effort is to continue to write. The new ebook, which you guys all have, and Crystal did a fantastic job with formatting and the templating and all the colors and the hand with the DNA emerging and all the things. Like, wow, like is the best looking ebook that I have ever written. And it's because of Crystal. So thank you. And lastly, we have a survey. We're going to send out a survey to people, and we have a prize attached to the survey. So people who want to, so people who fill out the survey by Saturday, we're going to put in a draw for, if you're an existing client, you get a free half-hour session with me as just a free extra half-hour session. And if you're not a new client, you can have a 15-minute discovery call with me and gift another one to someone else. Now, November 1st is when we turn over free discovery calls onto, and Crystal just put the survey into the thing, the chat. It's called a chat. And so what's happened is because of the increase, because of the increase in demand, and I'm also shrinking my time to free up more time for writing, I'm shifting away from free 15-minute consults to paid initial consults, paid initial discovery calls rather. So November 1st is when that takes over. So if you want to schedule something, schedule it now, because those free links will disappear come November 1st. You can schedule it for after November 1st, as long as you schedule that before, click the link before November 1st. But after that, it's going to be paid to do a discovery call. So those 2 free 15-minute discovery calls do have some financial value to it. So the survey's gone out and will also be emailed as well. And for closing thoughts, I just want to thank everyone. Yes?
Pause real quick. Let's do some giveaways and then we can wrap.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. So just to recap, the discovery calls that have been gifted from Dr. Sam are going to become $97 as of Sunday, November 1st. So if working with Dr. Sam has been on your radar, this is a great way just to kind of get the conversation started, to hop on the phone. And then the survey we just dropped in there, that's going to be helpful for what you got out of this, what was interesting to you, how you take in information, which will also inform what Dr. Sam, what channels he broadcasts on going forward, right? We just want to make sure it's like you are all the minds, the quality of minds and character that we want to be reaching. So whatever you're doing, we're following your lead. So the survey is going to be really helpful to do that. So please be sure to enter that by Saturday. And then you will also be gifted discovery call depending on, existing client or new. So as far as prizes, we have more to give away. So let's go ahead and do that. So can you go up to the initial slide with the Designs for Health? We're going to go ahead and give away the fancy lozenges.
Ooh. Here, they're fancy.
Okay, those are for our US folks. So
zinc gluconate and zinc citrate.
I've got this fancy, not so fancy number generator over here.
So what Crystal's doing is that she's collected all the people in the country who are in the same country, and then put a random number generator so that it's to pick it.
We have winner Eileen Murphy. Woohoo!
Hey, Eileen.
Yay,
Congrats,
thank
Eileen.
Love
Welcome,
it.
Eileen.
Thanks.
Those are great for this pandemic life we're living. And then for the Immunotone Plus, this is another US giveaway. Don't worry, everybody else, we're getting to you real quick. Do you want to give a little snippet about what the Immunotone Plus is?
Immunotone Plus, it's like it's all the immune herbs plus some mushroom extracts. I mean, it's like when you look at the ingredients, you'll recognize all the heavy hitters for botanical and mushroom immune support. It's not a nutraceutical where it's like here's zinc and vitamin C and vitamin A. It's more like the whole plants as they relate to the immune system. You'd recognize all of them when you saw them. And what I like Designs for Health is that they're a practitioner level company. And I only work with practitioner level companies because they quarantine and test the raw ingredients when they arrive to make sure there's no contamination or heavy metals, or like the powder that they got is actually the powder they say it is, not cut with rice or whatever. And it's real important to get high quality supplements because fraud and contamination are everywhere. So that's why I only use practitioner level brands. Vast majority of it is Designs for Health, partly because I've known Dr. Brady, who's the medical officer, formulated this since 2006, and he is a brain of a brain, and his formulations are awesome. And their customer service is extremely responsive and helpful. And they were an education company before they were a supplement company. They were teaching about the physiology before they sold a single bottle, and they've continued to do that to this day. So I'm a teacher at heart, so I'm a sucker for organizations that teach first and sell second, you know?
So good. So good. Okay. Can we get a spirit finger drum roll?
Okay, I go.
Thank you for playing
You
along,
tap the
you
screen.
guys.
Will that count as drumming? Will that
Okay.
work? Okay.
3, 2, 1. And we have Andrea. Woohoo!
Andrea,
Congrats, Andrea.
Andrea, related to Mr. Burns or no?
Thank you. Funny note, my dad, who is a Mr. Burns, does work at nuclear plants.
Wow. Hey, that's not uncanny at all. Not a bit. Okay.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Does he say excellent and tap his fingers
Oh,
together?
he loves it. He loves it. He'll give you the beating of a lifetime. It's
Right.
really funny. We do the whole thing.
Okay. Wonderful.
So good. And then we also have for our international crew here, we are giving away clinical grade vitamin D as immunosupport in this pandemic life. Okay, so one more time.
Yes,
Get it going. All right, we have Dr. Homa.
Oh, I think she just left.
That's right. She just popped off.
Okay, she was on here. She'll get it. She was on here.
Oh
for
no,
the call.
you're still here.
Oh, she's still here? Oh,
Yeah,
I thought she left.
Hold on.
Oh,
No, I'm here.
Here we go. Yay.
okay. There you go. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
Oh, Sweet Me. That's right. Oh, yeah, you were on the Sweet Me. That's right. Okay, I forgot. You had your name is different. Okay.
Awesome. Okay, and then just a reminder, everybody is getting the de-stress course, which is the work of Byron Katie. And then anybody else that is interested in receiving the gifted video game addiction ebook, go ahead and send me your information privately and we'll get that out to you. So just FYI, for prizes that are going to be mailed, we'll be mailing them next week. Anticipate slowness. We've got a election happening here.
Yeah.
And for digital products, we will be sending that out tomorrow. So you can expect that in your inbox, okay? And if you have any other questions to follow up from here, if anything was unclear, or if you're looking for specific support, please email me and Dr. Sam at concierge at drsamshay.com. I'll put that here.
And we'll just throw out an extra buffer. The digital stuff Crystal and I have been working tirelessly for the past couple of weeks. We may also send those out by Monday as opposed to tomorrow. We may be taking tomorrow off, just maybe.
Because rest.
So, and for people who have physical products, we'll reach out to you for you to send us your exact mailing address.
Yes.
And is there anything else on the price front?
That's it.
Okay, we're like basically on time. Amazing. Okay.
Yay.
So closing thoughts. Yeah, the intention here, I turned 40, on December, and this was, everything, all the people that have helped me get to this point. My 40s are going to be, I feel strongly, my best decade and my most productive decade to date in terms of helping people on a massive scale. And I couldn't do that without the team and the support and the infrastructure that I've had now and that have been building up to this point. And I'm so grateful to, the people that everyone's been here, Eliza, Nicole, Chassie, Bronwyn, Crystal. It's, it's a team effort. It does take a village to help raise a doctor. And the goal is eventually to, in the next 30 years, completely transform the entire world's understanding of addiction into a practical, non-stigmatized, easeful way. See, I snuck that in. Easeful, Crystal? That was for you. Easeful way to help people deal with their addictions. And the foundation of it starts here with building this foundational platform of functional medicine and then writing the books. So again, if you have, please fill out the survey. Would love feedback. If you have, Crystal, we should add a question on there about if they know people, podcasters, or other connection points possibly. And thank you again for showing up. And it really means a lot to me that you showed up. It really, because this is kind of a public, it's me sharing publicly, like, okay, like here I am, this is the next decade going forward. And yeah, please feel free to reach out, say hi, and thank you again, all of you. And Crystal, you have any other closing thoughts or anything?
It just means a lot that you're spending your evening with us or morning, wherever you are. It really does. That so much of the solopreneur, not solo anymore, entrepreneurial online life is very solitary. This gave me a reason to do my hair and put some makeup on, so I'm really appreciative. And I love seeing your beautiful faces in these times that we're in. This kind of connection and support just means a lot. It goes a long way. So I will remember your faces. I'm grateful for you as well. And you'll be hearing more from me too. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
I just wanted to say we miss you, Sam, in New Zealand. We really miss you.
Thank you, Dr. Homa. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We'll hang out for a couple minutes if you want to sit and chat with Dr. Sam or anything like that, but thank you for being here.
And
Thank you. It was great.
Hooray, Sam.
Congratulations, Dr. Sam. It's a beautiful site, and I'm so happy for you and all of us to get a chance to work with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yay.
Beautiful.
It's so funny how the frame shifts when they switch all the. Crystal, can you end the recording?